Well, it's like it's their late now. She is not working one.
Huh?
She is not working one. She's always working one.
Good with one.
That's brutal.
She took Emma Scotland.
Who is she?
She's in the Scotland movie and after that black.
What did they get that?
Tomorrow.
Maybe we'll send them a couple of fire photos.
I can tell he's just probably loving today, just being like, it's why you spend the entire time thinking about it.
It's hanging over his head, so I'm gonna really bring it to the forefront.
Yeah.
They're gonna drop that right there, smack right on top of his skull.
How was I not that sound so far? I forgot the license and all that. I mean, you guys should have had a lot of the other things.
Greg said he put up a video, so I can use that.
we are here either really early or really late.
I prefer late. Midnight, that's a good time to go home. You like working nights?
What?
You came out in the mornings, right?
I was just filling in on mornings, but I did 6 weeks in a row on mornings, and that was
That's enough to age you for like 6 years.
Oh, yeah, I like nights. Fun time.
Yeah, you Monday through Friday?
Sunday through Thursday. No football, on Friday, Saturday.
Nice.
I don't know if we'll schedule.
No. Yeah, you have our old boss over there. She worked for us at Helen. Been our boss for 3 years.
I worked there.
Is the door open? Did we just go in there and get him? Good, Dave. Start calling out. Take it in.
We like that from on if you're gonna get started.
Hmm.
It's like 4:21.
All right. I'll say 4:20. I wonder. I know how the price is right works. You overbid, you're not.
Start saving batteries.
Are you turning it off?
Yeah.
Oh, good, they're gonna come now right now.
Yeah.
30 seconds, you can hit right that spot. Okay, I left mine off just for that reason, so I don't even know that's good.
This is like when I show up to like one of those football games. Hey, everyone, let's stop scoring.
What happened to Matthew on Friday? Hey, oh, no more, punt, 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 punt. Ah. I know, you're important, you're good. Your phone's not even up there yet.
Silent things to come.
Are they coming? You're on.
Sure. Come on up. Come on up.
Just so you're aware too, we are live streaming.
Streaming it. Okay, thank you.
You want to go?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. As I think you all know, early this morning, in the middle of the night, last night, one of our officers in her patrol car was approached by an individual who then fired a weapon through the window of her patrol car, narrowly missing her. We are incredibly grateful and incredibly lucky that she is okay physically. This was an attack that could very easily have ended with an officer critically injured or killed, and it is clear that the intent of this individual who committed this crime was to kill one of our officers. I want to first say to our officer that we are all so thankful for her well-being. We're also incredibly grateful to her because she showed extraordinary presence of mind and courage after having been fired upon to maneuver her vehicle safely and then to keep eyes on the individual who did this while radioing for backup and helping to coordinate the arrest of this individual after the attack. That is incredible professionalism, incredible commitment, incredible courage. I also want to say thank you to all of the officers who responded so quickly and so effectively. to take this individual into custody. It's important to keep in mind they were in the middle of the night attempting to take into custody an individual who had just attempted to kill a police officer and who was armed and dangerous. And they took that individual into custody without incident. That's tremendous work. This is a reminder that our officers put themselves in danger every single day. That when men and women of the Hartford Police Department put on their uniform, they are putting themselves in a position where their lives may be at risk. We need to all remember that and all be grateful for their service and their willingness to do this work. A few other things I want to share. First of all, the individual who shot at our officer last night was, we have very strong reason to believe, also responsible for the homicide that occurred yesterday on Spring Street. I'll let Chief Thody or others talk in more detail, but it is very clear that it is the same individual. I also want to share that we are not using the officer's name simply out of respect for her privacy. Should she wish to talk publicly about the incident, that is, she has absolutely every right to do it, but we want to make sure that that is her choice, not ours. I also think it's important to acknowledge and confront something about this incident that we need to have a serious conversation about as a state. The individual who attempted to kill one of our police officers last night has an extensive criminal history, many arrests, including, I believe, 3 firearm arrests. At the time this incident occurred, he was on active probation for a firearm offense that occurred, I believe, in 2016. And 11 days ago, our police officers arrested this individual for illegal possession of a firearm. He remained out. Yesterday, he murdered somebody and attempted to assassinate a police officer. I just want to review that again, that this individual had, as of 2016 and through 2024, was on active probation for a firearms offense with extensive criminal history, was arrested 10 days ago for possessing a firearm illegally, and yesterday committed a homicide and nearly killed a police officer. We need to have a serious conversation about how that's possible. But today, most importantly, I want our officer to know that the entire city of Hartford is thinking of her, is so thankful that she is okay, so thankful that she is alive, and so grateful for her extraordinary service last night and over the last number of years as a member of the Hartford Police Department. I may have some other things to add, but let me just, with a thank you again to all of the officers involved yesterday in responding so quickly and so effectively, turn this over to our Chief Thody.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Bronin went over a lot of the details, so I think I'll open it up to questions. If there's anything more specific that I can answer, I will. Much of this is still unfolding as far as the investigation goes into the homicide, so there's certain things we can say and certain things we can't say. But I just want to start by echoing some of the things that Mayor Bronin said. For an officer to be sitting in a high visibility patrol capacity out there, being visible in the middle of the night to try to prevent crime, and then this individual walked up to her cruiser, seemed disoriented, seemed potentially intoxicated. She's offering assistance by calling an ambulance and keeping this individual engaged, trying to help this person, and then out of nowhere, this individual launches an attack against her. The quick thinking that she showed there, easy to be taken aback, being kind of caught on your heels, maybe not paying attention, being a little bit lax. We see that. That was not the case here. She acted immediately. You know, when I spoke to her today, she said that her mom instincts kicked in, which I'll take that all day long, and she positioned her car to avoid further attack, to save herself, and by saving herself, I think she likely saved other officers and other members of the community if this individual was allowed to stay at large. She then had the wherewithal to keep him in sight and direct her fellow C-Squad patrol officers to come and assist, and they were there immediately, and we ended up with a resolution where this individual was in custody without incident. We ended up with a firearm, which just about an hour ago, we were, with the assistance of the Connecticut State Forensic Laboratory, we were able to link the casing that was recovered in last night's shooting at our officer with the casing from the homicide yesterday at 93 Spring. So we've now have the murder weapon connected to this individual. Major crimes folks are working diligently to close that case up. We hope to have a warrant signed soon for that homicide, but you know, luckily the individual's in custody, so you know, not a danger to the community anymore. But this officer, as the mayor said, we're not going to release her name right now. You know, she has 2 years on the job, and the work that she did and the reaction that she had is so impressive. I can't say enough about her strength, her courage, and you know, and what she did. You know, and then the entire response by the police department was also incredible. But this is, you know, these officers are you know, we constantly drive home that it's dangerous work sometimes, and the most normal, mundane situation can turn dangerous very quickly, and that's what happened last night. You know, as the mayor alluded, this is an individual that we've had experience with before, and this was a dangerous person. So I think with that, I'll be glad to answer questions that are specific to both incidents, but we have our union president here. You want to say anything, John?
I'd just like to say that the officer acted quickly, not only to save her own life, but she saved other people's lives. She was out there protecting the community, and that's what we come here every day to do. Just like our other officers. Our other officers are going to suit up tonight, go out there, and protect the community, because that's what we do. But she's definitely a hero, something that younger generations should be looking up to, and thank God she made it home okay, and the rest of the C-Squad officers made it home okay.
Chief, how is this officer doing, you know, physically, mentally? Is she out of the hospital?
Yep, so she last night, she was taken to the hospital to be checked out. She was treated for minor injuries, lacerations from glass, and she was released. You know, came back here and didn't want to go home, came back here and spoke to the detectives to give them the information that they needed to do their job. Again, the strength that she showed is pretty incredible, and she is at home resting now. I've been in contact with her today, along with President Rinaldi. She seems in good spirits, but this is going to take some processing, I think, and you know, we just want to make sure that not just physically but mentally, that you know, that she does well. We've provided all the resources at our disposal to her, and wish her the best.
Do you believe it was the suspect's intention going to that patrol car to fire a weapon at an officer?
I don't know that I'll ever be able to prove that, but I believe that was his intention. I don't know what other intention you could have by, you know, obviously the officer at this point was engaged in providing assistance. There wasn't a question and answer about, you know, potentially being a suspect, and then to just randomly pull out a gun like that and shoot at her while she's sitting in her car. There's only one intent in my mind, and that's to kill her.
How close was the suspect to the car when he fired, do you know?
I don't know that for sure, but from what I was told, right at the window.
Can you elaborate on the suspect's involvement in the Spring Street homicide?
I can't right now. Again, that warrant will be hopefully signed soon. We did develop, the Major Crimes Division did develop information very early on yesterday that implicated this individual as a possible suspect, and then this is kind of you know, once we had the forensics back on the weapon and everything, that kind of sealed the deal for it.
What are you feeling right now? Are you angry, frustrated? I mean, back out again? What does that do to morale and what are you feeling?
I think that we've been going down this road now for a while here, looking at how these cases unfold. And I think, as the mayor said, we have to take a look at what we're doing here. These police officers, when you look at the number of guns that our officers have taken off the street to date, predominantly without incident, it's pretty incredible. And for this individual to be involved in I think a total of 13 arrests here in Hartford, 3 of which being gun arrests, being on probation for a gun arrest that dates back to 2016, that's 5 years ago. And then to arrest him again with a significant amount of narcotics and another firearm just 11 days ago, for him to be back out on the street after all that information that the mayor walked through and that I just walked through, and that anybody, I think, with common sense could look at and say, that's just not right. He should not have been out to commit that homicide, and he should not have been out to try to murder our police officer. So I think anger, frustration, I think just a desire for all of us to push change so that doesn't happen again to another police officer, whether it be here in Hartford or anywhere else. There was a homicide of a community member as well, and the damage that could have been done here is pretty incredible. So I do think that we need to take some look at this, and because this is not a unique case when it comes to these gun crimes.
Do you know the relationship between the victim in the Spring Street shooting and the suspect?
That I do not.
Do you believe the way the laws are now, that it was really only a matter of time for something like this to happen, for someone with this long criminal history to do something violent like this, whether towards a police officer, whether, against another citizen?
Yeah, I mean, whether it's just the laws or just kind of the process that we've, I think, become accustomed to here, it was just a matter of time, clearly. I mean, we've shown a lot of examples of folks that we've arrested. We have a more in-depth look into kind of our violent crime that should be coming out in the next week or two. We had a researcher come in and help us with that. And I think what you're going to see is a common theme. Law enforcement generally, and especially here in the police department with our intelligence, with C4, and with the work that our detective bureau does on a daily basis that the mayor and I are constantly talking about, it's not that we don't know who is driving the crime. It's a matter of holding them accountable so they can't be out there time and time again. It's a very easily identifiable progression towards violence. It's not hard to predict. We're a small city. What we need is accountability that is not some broad brush. We need accountability that is focused on the individuals that we know are going to commit the violent crime. And that information is there. We just need to use it better.
Are you going to be having extra patrols or partnering officers up just in case, maybe, for how people may be feeling, officers may be feeling, or someone else feels emboldened, anything like that?
Yeah, I won't go into too much details on kind of our strategies, but I can tell you that, today I put out an email to the department asking for some folks to come in tonight, once the sun sets and once it gets it's dark, to offer some extra patrols, some 2 individual cars, both north and south. I believe that this is an isolated incident with a particularly violent individual, but I'm not willing to take that chance. So we will definitely have bolstered patrols up, and we've got volunteers to fill that shift in very short order with the assistance of the union president.
I imagine the department officers must be pretty shaken by all of this. How do you address that with morale?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, as President Rinaldi said, these officers suit up under difficult circumstances and conditions on a daily basis. I think it's unfortunate that I think a lot of them are numb to it. But, we're there for them. We came in here last night as an administration and just, try to let them know that we're supporting them, whether it be equipment, whether it be efforts to make their job safer through technology or changes in laws. That's what we are supposed to do as administrators. That's what the mayor has pledged to do with us as a police department from the time that he started here. And, we work with the unions to try to make sure that this is a safe place for officers to work. But at the end of the day, this is a dangerous job. We see it across the entire country. But, you know, if there's anything that we can do, we do it. But the officers, you know, they were certainly, you know, shaken last night, but their professionalism was above reproach in how they handled this situation, how they, you know, supported their officer after this situation. And I guarantee you how they suit up and go to work today, it'll be the same way. But we have employee assistance. We have a very active and involved union. We've got a very active and involved command staff, and we'll be here, you know, for however long we have to be, and you know, until some, you know, some of this is digested and officers can go back to some sense of normalcy. But they will have help as long as they need it.
And I imagine the fact that this suspect's already accused of murdering someone that same day and fired a gun almost point-blank range at this officer, and this officer only managed to miss the bullet and only received some abrasions from the glass is miraculous. I imagine it's difficult to digest that this is the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, this is as close a call as you get. You know, it's, I think partially we're fortunate that, you know, that she wasn't hit by that original bullet, but there's no question that the actions that she took, there was no luck there. That was just being incredibly intelligent and quick on your feet or in your car at that point, to use what she had at her disposal to stay in the fight and to make sure that this individual was taken into custody. Real simple to probably back off and get away from that situation, but instead she stayed with it. And for that, we have somebody in custody that's a very dangerous person.
Did her body or dash cams capture any of this?
Her body camera did. We do have video of her body camera. I have not seen it. When I was here last night, it hadn't been uploaded yet, but there is video.
Will you be releasing that?
Yeah, I would say in time, certainly.
Did he talk or confess? I don't know if you can even say anything, but did he confess or talk afterwards, or was that?
It is my understanding that no, he did not.
He didn't talk, no.
Did this officer respond to this incident?
I don't know the answer to that, but she works midnight shift, and the Spring Street incident happened in the afternoon. I would, unless she was working an overtime detail, I don't believe so.
You said she's been with HPD for 2 years?
2 years. She's been employed with the city for 2 years. She's been a police officer about a year and a half. She went to the academy in 2019, September of 2019, so just over 2 years. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You know what, that's a great question. I am pronouncing it a G.